I've always enjoyed when there's plots on the side of things that are like relevant to what's going on, but not to the main character. And with Maki, like the whole Zenin clan storyline, it's sort of adjacent to everything that goes on, but it's mostly tied to Maki, and then you obviously have other stuff, kind of other characters that are in some way related to it. We had Toji and we have Megumi, but it's primarily what's going on with Maki because she wants to take over the Zenin clan. She doesn't like how she was treated, the fact that she has no cursed energy, but she's able to use those glasses as well as cursed tools in order to fight and keep up. She reminds me, obviously a lot of someone like Asta, but that different story, similar struggle. But once we got into this arc, her getting paired up with now Bito is, you knew beforehand that was going to cause conflict because you have this character who is now in the same group as somebody she had an issue with, and a guy that we know has been like, he's kind of problematic kind of jerk. He's absolutely not been a nice guy. He hasn't been at any point showing from both the way that he talks to people, even the way that he acts out at like on the job. Like they're in a really big like crazy chaotic situation right now in Shibuya, and this dude is just kind of like drinking and sleeping at points. So now they're battling Dagon, who has molted and got into like his actual form and dropped his expansion, which was revealed as we saw as the HQ of the special grade curses, that like beachside area. And like right now, they're in a dangerous spot. We know that with expansions, it gives like a general buff to the person. Like when you're using your expansion, you get like a general increase in power as well as some new abilities. And like the really crazy one with Dagon is that it's simplistic and yet like a really intimidating power. Is he can make these these shikigamis, he can make these familiars, these dangerous fish. And it's not like, oh yeah, I take them and throw them at you. He essentially can just continuously keep spawning them and just overwhelm his opponents, and he can directly like form them on you. So literally he can make them like just appear and then just attack. It's not like he has to directly like, oh yeah, let me put it next to me and then send it in. He can do it all over the place because inside his expansion is obviously like his own zone. It's all his attack, and now he's using that all to set up everything. And from the characters, I'm surprised Nanami doesn't have like an expansion. I know he's grade 1, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe he knows that if he uses his, like, it wouldn't be as as useful. Maybe it'll have to do with whatever his version is, because I don't imagine he doesn't have one. Maybe it's like he knows it wouldn't be beneficial in this scenario, or he's saving it. Who knows in that regard. We know that Nanami is he's like a no bullshit kind of guy, but he's also really like he seems like an intelligent fighter. He knows what he's doing. He's experienced. And once we see like his, and maybe we'll get like an explanation of why that is. It's kind of like Bleach. Like there's a lot of characters that's like, why didn't they use their Bankai in this scenario? And then later we find out the reason why. Either it has something to do with like a personal choice, or maybe their power wouldn't be useful in that scenario. Something like Shinji. Like Shinji's Bankai would be dangerous to use if he's around any allies. But from this, so now they've got some issues. They've got this dude just getting ready to throw all these attacks at him, and we see like now Bito's. I'm wondering if now Bito will have an expansion, because he's got this secret art, like the falling blossom emotion, and the way it's described, it's similar to like Simple Domain, but it's more of like a set. It's kind of like like a clad version of Simple Domain, but it has like an automatic like lash out like attack system that goes out, and instead of being like, okay, I make this spot where anything in it from somebody else's domain kind of gets canceled out, it's more of like an automatic defense system. So any of these shikigami that come near him, it'll just kind of like go out and like hit anything, and just take care of that on the spot. Definitely really good for him. I imagine it can easily get overwhelmed though, just because the way that it looks. If it's automatic, it doesn't seem like it's like when he has it up, it's not as something like he can just flex around and control. It seems to all kind of like work on its own. And as long as you can overcome like the level that gets off, you're probably pretty good at landing attacks. But then we have We have Dagon use one of his techniques, in which when he's thinking, like he's saying, like I'm gonna put 70% of my power on the Naobito and 30% on Nanami. Obviously, he doesn't know their names. He calls like the mustache and the suit. But I knew at that point when he clearly is focusing on them as the problem, Maki is going to be the big ringer in this fight because he doesn't really see like much of her, and that's probably going to be the death of him. Like she is obviously she doesn't have cursed power, so he's not going to really see her as a problem. But we know that she is a very capable fighter, and from when near the end of the chapter, we know that she's she's got the gear to compete thanks to teamwork with Megumi. But he uses his technique, this death swarm, so he makes all these like really big, horrifying looking monster fish creatures to go send them all there. And Nami makes a great point, like he talking to him. It's like anytime that you just feel like you're being bitten, just attack it. Just don't even like look and try and figure out what's going on. Just instantly go for it. Don't hesitate. He's getting attacked and he's like launching attacks, just trying to like break all these guys out. Now Bito's just trying to like get his and take care of these fish. But obviously, like if his power is like, okay, it'll deal with the expansion based abilities, then all Dagon had to do is just like, all right, cool, and then goes in brute, like just punches him and just lands brute force. And like I said, it's a move that clearly like it's got its uses, but it's only got specific uses. You know what those limitations are, and he can go for it. So at that point, like he's like, oh, he used all of those Shikigami to pretty much block Naobito's vision so he could get in and land that attack. So he's definitely really smart in this. He knows how to use it. He's like, okay, if I can't really get him with these in offense, then I'll use him to make to lay it out so I can just mean mug the hell out of this guy and land some attacks. But he's bringing all this, is just putting out an absolute like onslaught. And I don't know, it's the fact that he straight up says like he sees Maki as weak. It's going to be real nice to see him, see his expression when he goes down from her. So, oh man, I was actually really hyped when, like, she's like saying, like, man, I messed up. Like, I should have met up with Megumi first and these things. That the next part, you see, like, domain expansion. I was like, who's showing up? And then that Chimera Shadow Garden, and you see Megumi show up to the scene. And I actually really like just the visual of it because his expansion, inside of that cave, like we know it's not finished, like it's incomplete, it's not fully mature, but even from what we saw, like that creepy cave lake, like inside of some dark crevice with like this big lake, but it's not really water, it's like liquid shadows. So you're seeing these like liquid shadow like water like splashing out into this ocean. It visually, I thought it looked really cool when you thought about it. It wasn't just like, oh, they use an attack that makes a big burst in the water. It's literally like two different kinds of waters clashing, but one of them is like actually supposed to be water, and one of them is literally liquid shadow. I thought that was super badass. He brings in like he uses the shadow to extend out to Maki, and they give her the special grade curse tool, the Playful Cloud, that we know could land and do damage on Nanami. So this is gonna be pretty hype up here, and like Aki's or not Aki. That's not Aki. That's the freaking Chainsaw Man. Maki, like with her, she's very dependent on her skill level and what weapon she's using. So obviously, like if she's very limited on what kind of like obviously like how much physical strength and her capabilities and martial arts abilities, weapons abilities, and what tools she's using. And we know she's very skilled with weapons. We've seen how like hard she's trained and like her level of skill. She just needed to have like a weapon to like compete, and now she's got her special grade tool, and she's ready just to go down. I don't know why she doesn't carry it more often. I'd have to go back and look. I don't know if there's a reason why she just doesn't make this her go-to and just kind of keep it on her and not use that damn like fodder spear. Just keep on like the Playful Cloud and just smack this dude up. I like Dogon's abilities. I think his design is cool too, but if it means hyping up Maki, I'm fully ready to watch this dude, get the works. Anyway, though, good chapter. I'm hyped to see what's coming up, and I hope that she is the like big finisher, because I want to see now the look on Naobito's face when he's got to acknowledge her hard work. He's got to acknowledge that she's useful. He's got to acknowledge the fact that she is going places, and not only that, he's got to realize like when she said that she wants to climb up and take his spot, she's been working to do that, and it's gonna be a really good feeling when he's just like, oh shit, she might actually be able to, become the next Ted. She's climbed a lot and she's very capable. But anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Tell me your thoughts are right now about this. I'd also, just as a side note, loving the new Volume 11 cover, Nanami cover. Good stuff. Maybe Maki can be, maybe on the next one. That'd be really sick. Because I have to go back and look. I don't think she's on any of just finishing up really quick. I know that first one is Yuji, and then the alternate art Sukuna. Second one is Megumi. Third one is how am I forgetting her? Kugisaki. Fourth, I think I'm trying to remember. I know fifth is actually, I have the volumes in my folder. Let me pull them up real quick. This is bothering the hell out of me. Just as a last thing, because I'm wondering if Maki has one yet, and I can't remember if she does. No, I don't think so. Well, Volume 4? I think Volume 4 is Satoru. So, yes, 5 is Todo, 6 is Mahito, 7 is Choso, 8 is Toji, then Geto, Mekamaru, and Nanami. So she's got a spot next. I know that was rambling a little bit on that. It was not important. It was just me trying to figure out, like, has she had one yet? Because she definitely deserves one. And I'd be pretty happy to see her on the next one. Anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this chapter. Are you just hyped to see some Maki season coming up? See some hype for her? Because I know I am. Anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Thumbs up the video from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.